Alright, today we'll be doing a full review and walk around of my 2001 Seadoo Islandi deck boat. This has a classic V-bottom for smooth riding in the water. This boat can hold up to 12 people. Now these boats were produced, I believe, from 2000 to about 2008. Citing slowing market conditions in the marine industry, Seadoo decided to part ways with making their bigger jet boats around 2012, and then relaunching again in 2021 with a pontoon version called a Switch. Now this boat, as you can tell, aged extremely well for its age. There are almost zero to no rips in the interior. We'll do a full pan walk around just so you can see. These boats did have carpet in them at one point, where you see all these little rivets. They had clip-on carpet that went all the way around the boat and covered the entire thing. That is an option you can always go back and get. We'll start here on this left side. Comes with two cup holders, a nice smooth platform, a small kitchenette, I believe these are called, and this is where the fountain would come that would pour into here, and this would be the nozzle. But when we purchased this boat, it didn't have that on there. Just below that, you have two sliding drawers. We got toilet paper in here. I got a first aid kit. We got the original books that came with the boat and some hand sanitizer. Just below that, I believe you have more storage, which slides all the way out, which is really nice. Now in here, it had, I believe, a 48-inch full igloo ice chest, which is what you were supposed to put in there, or option. And it came with two trash can bins, which both had lids. Currently, right now, we just got a small fishing box in there, and some spray to help clean this boat up from time to time. We'll go ahead and shut this up now. And what was nice is you can grab this, turn this around, and it would keep it locked while in operation. Now the front portion of this boat, this lower section here, serves two purposes. The first one was obviously you can put a pole in here for the base, and it did have a table, which we do have that's sitting in here in the ski. The second part is this is actually a kiddie pool. Believe it or not, you can fill that lower portion up with water, and on the flip of a switch, water will spray out of that hole here and create a small fountain here. Now what's nice is when you didn't want the water anymore and you was ready to get rid of it, you would then just pull that drain plug, and it would then take the water and it would get pumped out into a oblige pump on the side of the boat. Here you have two large storage compartments underneath the front seats, which we'll just slide one of these off. As you can see, we do have some life vests in there, but these storages are pretty big, and you can store plenty of stuff in there. On the front here, full cover cap for your telescoping stainless steel ladder on the front portion, which is also really nice to have. As well, we'll go ahead and close that up. You have your navigation lights on both sides of the front. You have more storage back here. Now you have a whole 3 seats, which all come up on gas shocks, and you can simply just pull up, push in a little bit, pull up, and these will then collapse all the way down. So these 3 bench seats could then become more of a lounging platform like that. Really cool, super neat boat. Have 4 speakers, 2 in the back. Does have 2 here in the front. You got 1 to your left and 1 to your right. This does have running board lights as well, right here along the front, along the bottom there. You have a couple in the back. I mean, look how giant this captain's seat is. And another nice feature that this has is with a push of a button, this can actually unlock and swivel a full 90 degrees, creating an entire opening and more space back here. Now when boats in fully operation, or in full operation, I should say, you could then unlock this clip here, and you can lock that back door right there. Now behind that door also, you do have a water storage compartment and a fire hole. If you should ever have a fire, you could loosen this and spray in there. But I believe this water storage tank holds about 20 gallons of water, at least from what I was reading, which I thought was super cool. Freshwater tank. Behind this other door here, we'll get behind here, you can open up this storage compartment. It does have a fire extinguisher back here. You have all of these little holes, I believe, that can hold fishing poles or whatever you decide to put in there. This little one in the back is actually your back navigation lights. You can reach in there and pull that out. Some boats have them, some boats lost them before you got it. You know how it goes. And up here to the very top is a little lanyard, and once you pull that, that releases the back portion, which will open up the engine bay compartment, which we will do in another video because we actually pulled the engine out, so there's nothing holding the struts up right now. Up here in the front, really nice and smooth steering wheel. Now what was nice about these boats in comparison to your other inboard engines or your outboard engines is, one, this boat has no transom. When it comes to maintenance, it doesn't really get any easier than this. No transmission. The boat is actually, from the minute it starts, it's always in forward gear. No trim pump, no actuators, no power steering pump, no wall water impeller, no bellows, and no gimbal. It doesn't get any easier than this. We talked about the two front drawers in there. We showed you the changing room. This boat weighs 3,050 pounds. That's the dry weight. And it has a 12-inch draft. Now, we talked about this earlier, but this is a 240 option, so this boat does come with a little bit more oomph. Okay, a little bit more oomph. This thing got some, okay, a little bit power back there. This did have a giant cover, which was destroyed by the time we got it, so we will have to replace that. For your exhaust, you have a power tune dual muffler through the transom exhaust. Your impeller is a 7.25 in diameter, 4-blade variable pitch stainless steel prop. What else we got? Fuel tank. I believe this holds about 55 gallons. Jesus. And your water capacity, what I was talking about, is 20 gallons. Also up here, you do have another location where you can fill up with water as well, right through here with a hose connection. And I don't remember what that, I think filling that up gives you a way to fill this lower portion. I could be completely wrong. I haven't really messed with that yet, but it is there. It does work. So yeah, small windshield or windscreen. Really nice boat. You can see we got all of these different lanyards. Oh, back here we do even have a shower rinse off area. By opening this cap here, you can then pull out this hose, which ours currently is broken. So we will eventually be replacing that so that it's fully functional. But yeah, this is the boat. 2001 Seadoo Islandi, full walk around. Just get you a little bit more familiar. Really nice boat. We are doing a rebuild on it. Check out the rest of the videos so you can keep up. Last thing I want to say is, you know, these boats did have a couple issues in this 2001 year. that I read about. Now, I haven't experienced none of this personally, obviously, because this was a project boat. We did buy this boat running. However, we did have low compression. As you'll see later on in the videos, if you go on to the videos, you'll see our cylinder 6 and cylinder 3 were severely damaged. And it looks like there's a plastic piece that is in the camshaft, which I do have sitting in the garage right now because we pulled it out. That eventually breaks and deteriorates. Why would a plastic piece be around all of these fast moving parts? I don't know. I would think maybe it's an engineering problem that they didn't think about completely, or it didn't become a problem until later on. The oil injection is known to commonly have problems and fail, and typically that's where a majority of these problems start. So these boats end up at a junkyard because there's not a lot of videos or people talking about these engines, and or there's not a lot of people who have a boat this size. But these M2 engines are extremely reliable. They're extremely low maintenance. I think their lifespan is about 12 years. Obviously, we're in 2024. This boat's a 2001. It's beyond its life expectancy, but there's some that are still running today because they were properly maintained. But this is a good example. We're going to preserve this example, and we're going to help continue spread the word about these boats, because these are super cool to me. I like the style. I like the seating. This is basically a Seadoo engine and a giant jet boat. Simplest way to put it. I believe these can go up to 45, some even 50 miles an hour, just depending on what kind of setup you have. They do have different props of sorts. But yeah, this is the boat, just so you can see it. Pretty clean, pretty nice. Seadoo Islandia.